Good morning, everyone. Welcome to week 24. It is our last week together, and it's not really even together. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of you sometime this summer when we are allowed to be together and give each other hugs, and I'm looking forward to telling you how proud I am of all of the work you've done this year. We have done a lot of hard work. So let's start with our geography, and we'll go from there. Okay, here's week 24 geography. Here's our whole world. And we're gonna come here into Southern Africa. So everyone say Southern Africa. All right, say South Africa. And this little circle here, say Lesotho. Botswana. Mozambique, Namibia. Good. Again, we're talking about Southern Africa. Everyone say South Africa. Lesotho, Botswana, Mozambique, Namibia. All right, good. That is Southern Africa. Okay, let's move over here, and we will start with history. Let me get this ready over here. We're going to start with our history sentence, and we're talking about apartheid. Can you say apartheid? Okay, good job. Now, apartheid is a system or a policy that was put into place by the government in South Africa that allowed racial segregation or separateness between blacks and whites. So it was a state-mandated legal racial segregation. So apartheid could mean separateness. So we're going to say apartheid to separate something. Okay, so I want you to repeat after me, where I'm going to say, tell me about the end of apartheid. And you will say, in 1994, South African President de Klerk allowed free elections. Nelson Mandela became the first black president, demonstrating apartheid was ending. Good. Let's listen to it, or actually let's say it together first. Here we go. I'm going to hold this up so you can see it. Okay. So I will say, tell me about the end of apartheid. And together we will say, in 1994, South African President de Klerk allowed free elections. Nelson Mandela became South Africa's first black president, demonstrating apartheid was ending. Okay, good. And we're going to sing our song together. Let's do some motions first, though. So we're going to say, when we say South Africa, we'll point south, because South Africa is the very southernmost tip of the continent of Africa. So we'll say South African President de Klerk allowed, he allowed them. I will allow that. Free elections, and in an election you vote, so we're going to vote. Elections, yes! So he allowed free elections. Nelson Mandela became the first black president, demonstrating apartheid was ending, right? Demonstrating apartheid was ending. All right, let's listen to our song together.
Week 24, tell me about apartheid ending. In 1994, South African President de Klerk allowed free elections. Nelson Mandela became the first black president, demonstrating apartheid was ending.
Demonstrating apartheid was ending. Demonstrating apartheid was ending. In 1994, South African President de Klerk allowed free elections. Nelson Mandela became the first black president, demonstrating 1994, South African President de Klerk allowed free elections. Nelson Mandela became the first black president, demonstrating apartheid was ending. Demonstrating apartheid was ending. Demonstrating apartheid was ending. Demonstrating apartheid was ending. Demonstrating apartheid was ending.
It just keeps going. Okay, good job. So that's our history, talking about the end of apartheid. We're going to do English next. Everyone say, interjection. Okay, good. So repeat after me. An interjection is a word or phrase. An interjection is a word or phrase used as a strong expression. Used as a strong expression of feeling or emotion. Of feeling or emotion. Okay. So I want to show you what interjections might be. You guys are my essentials people, so you know. But things like this. Wow. Oh. Ow. Hey. Neat. Yay. Those are interjections. And let's read it together. I will say, what is an interjection? And we will all say, an interjection is a word or phrase used as a strong expression of feeling or emotion. And again, an interjection is a word or phrase used as a strong expression of feeling or emotion. Very good. Okay, Latin. Here we are. This is the same as last week. We are doing first conjugation endings, future perfect tense, and this is the tune of Happy Birthday. So let's sing it together. Ero, eris, erit, Aramis, eritus, errant. First conjugation, future perfect tense. So let me have you look at it while we sing it again. All right, make sure we can see that. Let's sing it together. Ero, eris, erit, Aramis, eritus, errant. First conjugation, future perfect tense. One last time. Ero, eris, erit, Aramis, eritus, errant. First conjugation, future perfect tense. Very good. That is the last piece of Latin in all of our 24 weeks. I cannot even believe it. It seems surreal. Okay, good. We're going to do math next. And in math, we're talking about the last law, and it's the identity law. So I want you to point to yourself. The identity law, because this is who I am. It identifies me. So the identity law is, what do you add or what do you do to a number to keep it as itself, as its own identity? So we'll say the identity law for addition states, the identity law for addition states, good, A plus 0 equals A. Good, we'll say A plus 0 equals A. Good. Now for multiplication, we'll say, you repeat, the identity law for multiplication states, the identity law for multiplication states, A times 1 equals A. You'll say, A times 1 equals A. Good job. Thumbs ready? The identity law for addition states, A plus 0 equals A. Good. Now together, the identity law for multiplication states, A times 1 equals A. All right, good job. The identity law for addition and multiplication. Ready? We have science, and we all know that in science we ask questions. So the question today is, what units are used to measure electricity? What units are used to measure electricity? There are 4 of them, 4 units. Now, for the first one, I want you to hold out your hands because we're talking about resistance and say ohms. Ohms. Ohms measure resistance. Ohms measure resistance. Good. Now we're going to say volts, and I want you to do a lightning bolt in the air because it's the actual voltage. Volts. Good. Volts measure voltage. Volts measure voltage. Good. Now amps. Say amps. Good. I want you to do a current or a wave with water, and we'll say amps measure current. Amps measure current. Good. Now I want you to do a strength or power and say watts. Watts. Good. Watts measure power. Watts measure power. All right. What units are used to measure electricity? To measure electricity, we use, now get your ohms ready. Ohms measure resistance. Volts measure voltage. Amps measure current. Watts measure power. Good, one more time. What units are used to measure electricity? Okay, ready? Ohms measure resistance. Volts measure voltage. Amps measure current. And watts measure power. Good. Good job. Okay, all we have left is our timeline. And this week, last week we finished the end of our history timeline. This week is our presidents. I don't know if I can get it close enough that you can see the words. This week is our presidents. So I have a song. You may have a song. So if your song is different than mine, feel free to turn this off and sing your own song. But I'll sing through my song twice here so you can see it and hear it. Okay. We're going to start with Washington. What are the presidents of the United States? Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, Adams, Jackson, Van Buren, Harrison, Tyler, Polk, Taylor, Fillmore, Pierce, Buchanan, Lincoln, Johnson, Grant, Hayes, Garfield, Arthur, Cleveland, Harrison, Cleveland, McKinley, Roosevelt, Taft, Wilson, Harding, Coolidge, Hoover, Roosevelt, Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump, and more. And I should have Trump on here, but my cards are outdated. So let's sing it one more time. A little bit faster. Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, Adams, Jackson, Van Buren, Harrison, Tyler, Polk, Taylor, Fillmore, Pierce, Buchanan, Lincoln, Johnson, Grant, Hayes, Garfield, Arthur, Cleveland, Harrison, Cleveland, McKinley, Roosevelt, Taft, Wilson, Harding, Coolidge, Hoover, Roosevelt, Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump, and more. Wow. You guys, we have learned so many pieces of information in this last 24 weeks together. I am so proud of you guys. I'm really excited at all that you have learned and how hard you guys have worked. Couple of things. I would still love to see your maps. I'm still planning on doing an ice cream party when we're allowed to get together, and I would love for all of us to be able to be there and celebrate together. So send me a picture of your map or an email, or even just have your mom let me know that you did your maps. That's totally fine. Also, orchestra for today, it would just be a review, and we would probably go through and try and sing the orchestra song. The one that says, the violins ringing like lovely singing, the violins ringing like lovely song, the horn awakes me at morn, the horn awakes me at morn. The clarinet goes doodle 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 dad. The clarinet goes doodle 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 dad. So it just kind of builds on top of each other, and it's a round, so you can sing it. So you can try that at home. That's awesome. I'm sure you can get on YouTube, and I'll try and post a video too, so that you can see how that all sounds, all fit together. All the different voices singing the different instrument songs and how they weave in and out from each other. So that's our orchestra, and that's the last 6 weeks of us learning about Bach, Beethoven, Beethoven, Brahms, and Dvorak. There's our 3 guys, right? And how they're very different, and how they bring about feelings and emotions. And then for science, this week would have been our demonstration week. So we would have practiced our paper airplanes that we made, and we would have looked at our towers, and we would have tested our bridges to see how strong they were. We would have tested our egg protectors. So we're hoping to get together and do that sometime this summer. So I hope that we can see each other together and do that together. I would love to see you all one last time today at 1:30 so that we can say hello. We'll try and play a really short game and be able to say good job and hello to everybody. So I will see you today at 1:30, and I'm looking forward to having a chance to see in your faces and telling you guys thank you for all the hard work that you did this year. Good job, guys. Bye.